the work of an Iowa-based organization, Bailing Out Benji, kind of helped spark this investigation. Can you tell me about that?
That resolution filed in King County Superior Court requires the company to pay the state $3.75 million with interest.
Bailing Out Benji regularly looks through these records of dogs' movement from state to state.
Bailing Out Benji
played a key part in unraveling a nationwide puppy scheme.
Bailing Out Benji,
an organization that's been working across the country to stop the pipeline of puppy mill breeders.
Bailing Out Benji.
I will use my voice because they don't have one, and I will keep doing it until there are no more puppy mill dogs.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Oh my gosh.
Oh, welcome.
Go,
I'm
you
not
can't
gonna
be on my
say
mic.
it, right?
Get
No.
off of me. Okay, starting over. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Truth, Lies, and Puppy Mills, Bailing Out Benji's. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we often
Starting over.
forget the name
Starting
of our
over.
podcast.
I don't know. In my head, I heard males. Truth, Lies,
Oh.
and Puppy Mills. I was like, nope. Okay. Welcome, everyone, to Truth, Lies, and Puppy Mills, Bailing Out Benji's podcast. I'm Kristen. With me is Mindi and Jalaine, and Bluey is in the wings. I'm sure he will be joining us. For those of you watching on YouTube, you can get some quality Bluey content. So today,
Don't sue us, Disney. Different Bluey. Just kidding.
This is Blue. He just goes by Bluey sometimes. So today we are going to be talking about our pet food pantry. And we talk a lot on the podcast about the importance of doing the upstream work of taking care of pets, the importance of keeping pets in their homes with their families and out of the shelters, because we know the shelters are bursting at the seams with animals. And as families face economic uncertainty, those decisions about whether to pay bills or buy food for the family, let alone food for the pets, becomes a question. And we know the value of having pets in the home and what they bring to families. So we want to talk today about something that we do here at Bailing Out Benji in our local community, which is our pet food pantry. So, Jalaine, do you want to talk about what we do? So Jalaine kind of heads up, coordinates the pantry dispersals that we do out of our office. So tell us a little bit about the pantry.
Yeah, it's an amazing resource for the community. We get thanked so many times, and you can tell it's really making a difference in people's lives. So once a month, we host a big dispersal event outside of our office. Folks can come, let us know how many pets they have, if their pets have any allergies or dietary restrictions, and then we try to get the type of food that matches as closely as possible to what they're used to feeding. But of course, that's always dependent on the donations we've gotten that go around. But yeah, we're really no questions asked. Show up, let us know your name, pets, and here's food, because that's the important part.
And that makes us a little different. There are other pet food pantries in Iowa and other places that have a little more qualifications, restrictions on who can use their pantry. And the reason we do it is the need in our community is at the moment kind of, I don't want to say small, because it is growing. But we don't necessarily have to turn people away yet. So we've never really put any barriers in place to needing food. But unfortunately, we also have to balance how many animals are coming, how many of them are unspayed, unneutered. We help a lot, and it's not something we talk about because it's not something we can afford to talk about, but we do help a lot with spay and neuter in our community, specifically cats. We are trying our hardest to help keep cats out of shelters and out of just harmful situations, right? If lots of extra cats are brought into this world, there might not be enough homes for them. So we're trying a lot of that upstream work. But Jalaine, a big misconception about our pantry is who visits. And I hear a lot that people think, because we are in Ames, that we have the majority of Iowa State people here and students here. And I anecdotally do not see that. What do you see when it comes to
And
people
just
who
to
visit?
clarify for listeners who aren't from Iowa, Iowa State University is based in Ames. And so, yes, we do have a lot of students in town.
And we do have students who use our pantry. However,
our typical pantry customer is
families.
Yeah, it's absolutely families that are struggling. A lot of times we hear stories about unexpected medical bills for either themselves or their kids. It's all these the unfortunate circumstance that we're all just one step away from maybe needing a pet food pantry ourselves.
Right. And that's where the no questions asked comes in. Because, like, we started this 9 years ago. Well, 8 years ago. I don't remember now. It's been a long time, 2017. So we started this in 2017. And one of the main reasons for the no barriers is because a lot of places, when they're talking about who can access it, it's how poor are you? And you have to prove that there's a need. Well, what happens when you're just a normal middle-class family? All of us sitting here are one paycheck away from needing assistance at any given time, right? So what happens when you make $50,000 a year and your dog needs, your child needs surgery, and now your dog needs a bag of food and you can't? Like, it's hard to turn people away, right? Just because they quote unquote make too much. That's just like one scenario we've seen over the years. We do have families who sometimes need help once, but we also have a lot of families who are on disability.
Yeah.
And they come to us regularly. And that is another huge part of how we're helping the community. And I don't want to jump the gun too much, but we just did this big pet food drive. And Meals on Wheels was one of the organizations that helped us. And what we've seen and what they can definitely speak to is that a lot of elderly people who use Meals on Wheels use that food to feed their pets. And so we have elderly families in our communities and in the communities of people listening who are hungry themselves. And the first thing they do is feed their pet, because everyone listening, that's all of us. The first thing we always do is feed our pets. And if we're hurting financially, our pets get fed, but we also deserve to be fed. And those families deserve that too. So I think that that's why those programs play a super important role, because we're keeping families together, but we're keeping humans fed too. But yeah, so we typically since we're limited, we can talk about how that means we're limited in our ability to help. So when families come to us, like Jalaine mentioned, and they have, say, 3 cats and 5 dogs, we can't give them enough food for a month. Unfortunately, we are assisting families. And so that family is going to get 1 big bag of cat food and 1 big bag of dog food. That's, unfortunately, we wish we could do so much more, but especially because, and we've talked about it in other episodes, getting funding for pet food pantries is nearly impossible when you're not a shelter or a rescue. People ask us all the time what kind of grants we get for this or support, and none of that. Because we can't say how many animals we euthanize, how many animals we adopted out. All of those statistics that they want from shelters, we can't provide. And so that's pretty tough. Alexis and I were at a conference last October, and there was a huge pet food company sponsoring the conference. They were talking specifically about how they help shelters and rescues with pet food pantries. And Alexis and I went up and we were like, oh my gosh, we'd love to talk to you more. And they said, oh no, we can't help you because you are not a shelter or rescue. So it's just like we also face all of these barriers in trying to just help people.
And we have a shelter here in town that does not have the capacity to do a pet food pantry at the moment, which is one of the reasons we're doing it. So they can't apply for this funding. They don't have a pantry. And even to be able to say, like, we are confident that because of the pantry, we are keeping pets out of the shelter. Families are not having to surrender their pets because they can't afford to feed them, because they can get that assistance here. We can't quantify that. We can't say how many pets we kept out of the shelter. So even that statistic we can't provide. So yeah, getting that funding has been difficult. So we do have some folks who donate monetarily, specifically to the pantry. So we have 3 recurring monthly donors who have specified that they want their donations to go to the pantry. And then we get occasionally other financial donations that are for the pantry. We do have people that drop off pet food periodically. We have some local stores that will give us torn bags or bags that just aren't selling. we don't give away expired food, so sometimes we do get donations of that, and we can't give that out at the pantry. But
we're good at utilizing our building, right? So we'll put that kind of stuff like in the hallway and say for free, and we explain to people that it's a little past its expiration.
Expired, yeah.
And when people choose to take it, that's on them. That's fine. We don't necessarily. We try really hard to watch those dates.
Yeah, and we have been fortunate, as we're talking about like where does the food come from. We've been fortunate. So you mentioned we just got done with the pet food drive. We'll talk about that. Prior to that, for the last several months, we've been getting donations from the Animal Rescue League of Iowa, which is based in Des Moines. They have been extremely generous in helping us out with dog food, especially. Prior to that, it was coming out of our operating budget. So this is, our mission is puppy mills, but we were using bailing out Mindi money to buy that pet food. So fortunately, with partnerships like with the Animal Rescue League, with this Kibbles for a Cause pet food drive that we just finished up, and then donations from folks in the community, we haven't had to buy nearly as much pet food this year for the pantry as we have in prior years, which is amazing. So should we talk about the pet food drive?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are currently, our cupboards overflow with dog and cat food at the moment because we have a coalition in the Des Moines metro area. So between Des Moines and Ames, where we're located, several of the pet food pantries got together and formed this coalition. It was suggested by one of the pantries in Des Moines, the Pet Project. One of their volunteers got this thing going and brought together people from the Animal Rescue League, us, Meals on Wheels, and DMARC, which is a food pantry. So Meals on Wheels and DMARC deal with human food, but they get pet food donations also that go to the people that they serve. So we got together this coalition of people, and we meet monthly and just kind of talk about what we're seeing. Are we seeing challenges in getting food? Are we seeing challenges in serving people? Are we seeing our numbers go up? Just kind of safety in numbers, and just knowing that there's others out here doing the same kind of stuff that we're doing and sharing ideas with each other has been a big deal. And then
not just a big deal, a game changer.
Yeah,
truly.
Yeah, a game changer. And making those connections so that when the Animal Rescue League has more dog food than they need, they can be like, hey, we've got plenty. Does anyone need some? And we can be like, yeah, we do. The Pet Project had tons of wet cat food that they weren't going to use. So then other organizations Animal Rescue League and us went and got some wet cat food from them. So sharing those resources, sharing ideas. So we've heard a lot about the application processes that they use, how they bag their foods, how they distribute, how much they distribute. And it's been really fascinating to learn all of that, and how we kind of each do things differently. So the group decided we were going to do this big pet food drive in the Des Moines metro area. It was a 2-week pet food drive sponsored by a local hotel, a local grocery store chain. I started with hotel, then I was going to say restaurant, and then I finally landed on grocery store.
It's all right.
So a grocery store chain sponsored it, sponsored by Fairway Stores. And then Animal Rescue League of Iowa has got, they're big. Everyone knows them in central Iowa. They have all the media contacts. So they were a wonderful partner to have to bring that attention to this event. So we lined up collection places all around the area, mostly pet stores, also the grocery stores, and had these cute little signs and advertised on TV and on all of our social medias that people could buy dog food, cat food, drop it in these boxes. At the end of the 2 weeks, we collected it all, took it to the Animal Rescue League for a little media photo shoot event, and then dispersed it out to the groups that participated that needed the food to take. So
importantly,
yeah,
it was distributed by need.
It was. There was, this whole coalition of pantries it's such a generous, helpful group. no one is out to try to get more than anyone else, or take the spotlight more than anyone else, which is very refreshing.
Especially given everything we've been discussing throughout this podcast about how groups don't work nicely together.
Right.
And so it was so nice last week when the ARL was like, bailing out Benji, what do you need?
Yes.
You're the smallest. What do you need for your events? And very, very kind.
Pet Project, Kayla loaded up a car full, and then there was all this food left. And they're like, take whatever you want. And furthermore, what was left, if you need more, let us know. Come back and get more. So it's very much, everyone is kind of looking out for each other and making sure that we're all successful, because we're all working towards the same thing in the end. So yeah, it was a great event. It was, this year we started planning it about 2 months ahead. It kind of came together real quick, so it was a little unorganized, but we got a good amount of food for that. So we're planning to do this every year, and we're really excited, because next year will just be bigger, because we'll start planning sooner and we'll have a little bit more recognition. So I'm really looking forward to doing that every year. And then that coalition of pantries is going to keep meeting every month. Even though the food drive's done, we'll still keep meeting and sharing those ideas, and especially really watching the trends of how many people are coming to get food, knowing that around the country we're starting to see that need go up, and so really kind of keeping an eye on our numbers here, and how many people we're serving and that kind of stuff. So
yeah, it was a really fun day. It was not nearly as hot as I was afraid it was going to be. We did meet earlier in the day. We had Rosie and our volunteer Sam come and help us, which was so fun. Our pantry runs on very few volunteers, so it is
a committed group.
Yep, a committed core group of people who are there, and we only do it once a month. We know that our friends at the ARL, they do pop-up clinics. Is it 2 or 3 times a month?
You know what? I don't even know. I don't remember the schedule. They've just started taking their pantry mobile, which has been interesting to watch, because I wasn't quite sure like how that was going to play out. I mean, I think they've only done 2 as of the time of this recording, or at least last I knew.
For context, they used to do something like we did, where customers would come to them or families would come to them, and they had it like a drive-through, and it was twice a month. I think it was 2 Wednesdays a month.
And their shelter is kind of out of town a little bit. So not super convenient, is kind of some of the feedback they've been getting for people to get there. So they decided to take it mobile, and they're doing pop-up events around town where they will just communicate, here's where we're going to be on this date. And the first one they did on the south side of Des Moines, they said was very well received. And then they did one that was geared towards veterans. So they're kind of still, like experimenting with these pop-ups. Yeah. And so then through this coalition, the Pet Project was saying that they have a lot of people that come to their pantry by the bus. They have a bus stop right outside their office. But if you get off the bus and then you go grab your food, it's 45 minutes until the bus comes back around again to take you back home. And that's so having the Animal Rescue League doing theirs throughout the community, some of those folks who were going to the Pet Project can now catch the ARL in a different part of town. So it's going to be really cool to see how that affects what's happening in Des Moines, and how the needs are being met there. So,
and that's been something I think it's getting easier, but when we first started getting a lot of emails, like 2 or 3 years ago, when we really started doing events at our office and having people come here, we were having people come from Des Moines, like drive all the way up here. Imagine how much money in gas they're wasting to get here. And so, yes, we would help them, but we would also say, hey, by the way, you can go local. And so really trying to push it back on the local organizations, not because we don't want to help, but why on earth are we going to have someone waste their resources coming to Ames? And now we're seeing like our friends at the Marshalltown ARL, they're now doing some pop-up ones. Again, resources are an issue, so they can't do it as regularly as they want, but that's what's going to help our communities be better. When we're talking about pet overpopulation, over the years, everyone has said, shelters are full because of puppy mills. Shelters are full because of the enemy, right? There's always something. But really, a lot of it is because people straight up cannot afford to keep their pets. And that does not make you a bad pet owner. And for years, that was the marketing and the messaging, right? Like, if you can't afford your pet, don't get one. Okay, well, I got my pet 10 years ago and now I'm having a hard time and I love them. And what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So, just by providing that compassion and kindness, like, we really are helping our communities heal in ways that you can't just do if you, you know, adopt an animal out or sell an animal. Like, the door's kind of closed there. You don't want that door to close. It has to be a constant conversation.
And I'm never a fan of, spending beyond your means or getting into a financial situation that you don't have the income to support. Also, so we used to do homeless outreach. Those pets, sometimes that's it. That's the only thing to wake up to. And the pantries in Des Moines do support the homeless outreach groups to make sure that these houseless folks have food for their pets, to be able to have that companionship, to have that support, the mental health benefits that it provides, having that companion that's there with you. So I can't, I struggle with the message of, if you can't afford the pet, you shouldn't have the pet. That's not, it's simple to say, but it's not realistic
No.
to live.
And you actually included bailing out Benji in one of those outreaches.
Yeah.
And we went with Iowa State and we did some free vetting and trying to help the animals in those communities while the people were also receiving help and assistance in other ways. So we weren't just there to help the pets. We were still doing people stuff because people matter and humans matter in all of this. So I think that's kind of what people have to remember too. Like, the homeless outreach stuff, you were helping the people, like you said, like, they're waking up every day because their dog is there, because their cat is there. Those pets don't have anywhere to go though, right? So it's not like the people who may believe if you don't have enough money, don't get a dog. Are you going to go and take all of those pets and find them homes? Like, when we're talking about pet overpopulation, those people matter and their pets are beloved and very, very, very loved. I mean, they get more attention than my dogs do, right? Because I'm at work, I'm here, I'm away from my home. That dog is so lucky to get to spend its life with its human.
Yeah. And, the fallacy of, well, those pets are going to end up in the shelter eventually. We had a homeless friend that died and had a lot of cats. And a team of people went out and rounded up all of his cats. And I mean, he had a lot of cats. And they, like, throughout the night, I mean, volunteers with this homeless outreach group who had gotten to know this man and loved this man, took it on themselves to go get all of those cats. And it wasn't easy because they're feral cats that lived in the woods that trusted him and him alone. Rounded up all of those cats, got them spayed or neutered, and then adopted them. They named them, all of the cats, after, I'm getting teary. They named all of the cats after clients that this homeless outreach served, and then had them up for adoption. And, like, I'm looking at every one of them and I'm like, I want the cat named Al because I adore Al and I want that cat. So those cats did not end up in a shelter. There was a whole family of people that had made connections with this man who wanted to take care of his animals when he was gone. And that, to me, that's community. That's taking care of the people who live in our community, even beyond, when they're no longer with us, and making sure that their animals are taken care of. And so I think that's the case in communities like ours, where Des Moines is the capital, but it's still a small city, right? And so we have homeless outreach groups that make connections and relationships with these people and their pets. So you can have those better outcomes and make sure that both are being taken care of.
Right. And yeah, here in Ames, we said no one else has the ability right now to have a pet food pantry. We do have human food pantries, and they will sometimes have, like, small amounts of food. But for anyone listening, like, that's the goal. We're not telling you run out and found a pet food pantry, start one. Bailing Out Benji should not be the ones who are housing the pet food pantry. Right now we are, because that's the need. But if you're listening and you're like, man, I'm just one person, how do I help? You should start by talking to one of your local human food pantries. Because if people are already going to one place, for their assistance. It makes sense if that place can also make a little room for pet food. And that's what our friends at the ARL do. So when we're giving out food here in Ames, it's a big bag. Like it's a bag of food, and that's what you get for the month. The ARL will rebag food. So they'll take it out and put it into Ziplocs, and then they will hand those out. They will also put those on pet food pantry shelves. And so that's something that people listening can do, right? If your local human food pantry doesn't have space for a 30-pound bag of food, ask them if you can make that, 3 10-pound bags of food. Not 10, but like smaller than that, right? Like put them into those gallon buckets. Try to get some pet food resources into those human food pantries.
Yeah. And speaking of that topic and what can one person do, we should talk about what our volunteer Maria did in Des Moines.
Exactly.
Jalaine, do you want to talk about what Maria did in Des Moines?
So Maria worked with her church to help get pet food added to their human food little free fridge or cabinet. Pantry is what we're calling it.
I think they have like a cupboard set up.
Yeah,
and I don't remember if they have a refrigerator in there or not, but they have a cupboard for human food outside of the church where people can come and get service. Yeah.
And it's just open for people to come up to. And
it.
Maria has gotten some places to donate and has started filling pet food holes in there.
And she is someone, she drives up from Des Moines nearly every month and volunteers for our pantry, and then was like, how do I help local? And took that a step local. Yeah. And so we love her. She's so kind, but that's what it takes, right? It's like, okay, I don't have everything, but I have something, and it's my church, and maybe they can do something, right? Or maybe it is that local pantry. So I love her. She's so sweet. And just that compassionate heart. I think our society is losing compassion quickly. Desperately, we need to get it back, right? And we're losing compassion for each other and patience with each other. And I think that people like Maria are going to save our country and are going to save our world. And yeah, I just love that she did that. And that was recent. I think she just posted it like last week, right?
Yeah. My hope isn't that my hope is that we're not losing compassion. My hope is that the non-compassionate people are just being louder, but that the people who have always been compassionate are still out there just quietly doing the work. Because that's it. Like Maria didn't, I think a friend shared the post on Facebook about the church putting in this pet food pantry. And then Maria just shared it. And there was nothing like, that was me. That's right. I did that. No, she's just like, sneak that out there. Very quietly doing the thing. So that's what my optimistic heart hopes, that those compassionate people are still out there and they're still doing the work. They just do it so quietly that they're not making as many waves as the non-compassionate folks at the moment. But yeah.
Well, so if you've ever been to Iowa is a lot of cornfields and then a city. And then a lot of cornfields and soybeans and then a city. But yeah, so that's it, right? It's like farms, city, farm, city. And so when we're saying Des Moines and people have to drive all the way up from Des Moines, that's about 45 minutes. And so we're the only pantry in our county, and the only pantry in the county north of us, and the only pantry in the county west of us and east of us. Really, the ARL and those groups that we were talking about on our coalition, they're all in Polk County. So that's why they're like, oh, we do need to help in Story County, because they see that we are the only ones up here providing food to people.
Yeah. And then when we talk about that misconception of like, oh, we're serving college students, like we're serving the rural areas around us. We're serving Ames. It's a lot. There's just not a lot of services in the rural areas.
Right. And it's hard because there's so much we can't help with. And I think those are the emails that kill us the most, is like when people desperately need something, or they're, unfortunately, what we see a lot is a trailer court that has so many cats. And it's like, what can you do? People dump cats there, right? And we see that especially in rural Iowa. People don't understand that as much, but farms will just get cats dumped there and dogs dumped there. One of our volunteers, she told us, Delissa was saying that her farm just had 2 dogs dumped at it, and now the dogs are scared, and so she's trying to trap them and get the dogs in. So it's like, that's kind of the reality we're facing in a rural community anyway. Now we add in the fact that people can't afford cost of care. and can't afford veterinary care. And so more animals are getting dumped. And it's just like what we're helping with is a scratch and, drop in the bucket, a scratch and something. I don't know.
Scratching the surface.
Scratching
We're
the
barely
surface.
scratching
It's a scratch in the bucket. It sure is.
But yeah, so like it's a scratch on the windowsill or something. I don't know. Scratch in the bucket. Yeah. But we're trying, right?
Yes.
And so if you get all of the what can't you do in your head, you're never going to do anything. So if you have one bag of food and you can donate it, you did that today. And thank you for doing that today. So just remember, you can help your community not just by adopting and not just by fostering. You can help real families. And one of the other things I want to plug too is that a lot of shelters have like a 911 crisis foster program. Our local one does not right now, but that's like the ARL does. And so if someone were facing hard times and they needed to go, say, to the hospital for 3 weeks and get surgery or something, the ARL of Iowa has a crisis foster program where you can take that person's pet. And then that person doesn't have to take their pet to the shelter or try to find someone to take care of it for 3 weeks. And so maybe like if you're a rescue listening, brainstorm those kinds of foster homes. Like how can we expand what we are currently doing just to help a few more people? And if we can all help just a few more people, we're going to help everybody. But we can't expect one person or one group to help all of it and to fix all the problems. Well, we have our event this weekend. We are expecting, gosh, Jalaine, what about, how many animals do we normally serve? So many.
We've been averaging, I'm going to start with families. The past few months, we've been averaging around 80 families. Last month, we had over 100 families visit us. So last month, we definitely saw an increase. Pets.
It fluctuates.
It fluctuates, but there's usually over 100 dogs and over 200 cats.
Yeah. We always have more cats we're serving, and that is the donation we get the least amount of.
Yep.
And it's, I don't understand it. Like, I know that, like, I'm a dog person, and we're dog people. We're also cat people. So, like, I know I might seem like the person who would donate a bag of food, but I would, or dog food, but I would donate cat food.
I feel like, and maybe I'm making it up, is there a conception, like a perception that cats like catch their own food? But like house cats don't.
House cats,
barn cats do. But I wonder if that's part of the like, oh, cats, like they'll just go catch them out.
It could be.
I don't know. But yeah, it's weird that we definitely don't get as much cat food. Yeah, or cat litter.
Or we never get cat litter donated.
No.
Holy cow. And that's the most requested item. Yeah. And I get so sad every month that I'm like, sorry, we don't have any. And it's like, it's so expensive. And every cat needs it. Every indoor cat needs a bag of cat litter. And I don't know what is in cat litter, but my God, why is it like $20 a box at this point?
And weighs 50 pounds.
And weighs 50 pounds. Like, what is going on? And how can we make that cheaper for people? But that's a whole nother topic. Capitalism. We have a small but mighty team on Sundays. It's usually you, me, and Jason, and then a handful of volunteers who like to come. Do you want to talk about them a little bit?
We've talked about Maria. Maria and Tom come out from Des Moines.
Tom was our volunteer of the year last year.
Yeah, he was. He moved from Colorado to Iowa, so we're really lucky to have him now. Who else comes? We have Justine.
Our heavy lifter, thank goodness. Jason and Justine are out there lifting it. And Karsten.
And Karsten. Boy wonder.
Yeah. Karsten and his mom Delisa come pretty much every month too. And Lisa
comes every month. I really think that's about it. But Sam has been coming. I am going to share that story because I think it's cute and I won't overshare it. But I taught Sam when he was in like 4th grade. And then all of a sudden he came to a pantry event and was like, hi. Oh, I don't remember you. He asked me if I remembered him.
Did you recognize him at all at
did.
first?
But we see so many people come through our office and like in Ames. But the minute he said it, I knew exactly who he was and I was able to go find like I went to his profile and found a photo of him at that time. He was the cutest little kid. Anyway, long story short, like it's fun. Like Jalaine and I spent so much time with little kids and teaching, and now they're like getting to an age that they're adults and are still doing really good things in the world. And I know he had a lot of other influences, but I'm glad that Bailing out Benji is
sure you
where
were the
he
number
landed.
one,
Is
yeah.
me. Yeah. No, but it's not cute. Like he found
yeah,
us, and
yeah.
now he's volunteering on Sundays.
Yep,
So
yep. And he helped with the Kibbles for a
big,
cause
yeah.
and loading all of that food into the office when we got it
It was
back.
so helpful. Yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely needed that. And then back to Karsten, he's bringing maybe his friend Gus, another youth volunteer. So, yeah, we have a good core group, but those volunteers, it's not growing. We don't have a growing or budding pet food pantry event, I would say, volunteer based, but it's the second Sunday of every month from 1 to 3.
And we did have, was it last month when we were really shorthanded and put out a call to people and said, oh my gosh, we're really shorthanded. Can anyone help? And people do. We had a friend of a parent of somebody you went to high school with that lives not far from here. And so she came over and helped, didn't even really know what we do here. And she's like, I'll be there. My son came up and helped. Yeah. Your friend came clear down from the Fort Dodge.
Mason City area.
Oh, Mason City.
Yeah.
Yeah. Long drive. Couple hours. Mm-hmm. Drove down just to help and said she wants to do it again.
Yeah.
So, and we have had people that we're serving. So sometimes folks have to wait in their cars for a little bit for us to come out because we do it where they stay in their car, we go to them, find out what they want, and then we take them the food. And sometimes we'll say, sorry, you had to wait. We're shorthanded today. We've had people get right out of their cars and start helping.
I think, it was 3 or 4 months ago. We had no idea, but a bunch of our volunteers that day couldn't make it. Yep. And there were I think 4 of us here. It was not ideal. And one of the first cars recognized right away that it was slow going, and 2 men jumped out and they were like, how can we help? And they were our carriers. And so the people who were used to doing it, that's what I'm getting at. The people who are used to doing it can be the leaders of the pair. We always work in pairs. And so if you're nervous about volunteering and joining us, we make it really easy and fun. But yeah, our families that come visit us want it to be just as successful, right? They want to help us out.
And we get donations from the families sometimes. They'll give us what they can to offset the cost of the food as well. So
and sometimes it's just quarters, truly. Sometimes it is what they can give. And I don't know, I think that our pantry is the most stressful part of our work, and we complain about it a lot internally. It's not easy. And it's taxing physically and emotionally sometimes, but I think it's a lot of the most rewarding parts of our work too. And I know we talked a while back about our vaccine clinic and our microchip clinic, and those are all things it's not our technical mission, but how hard is it to just get involved and do a little something for your community?
Yeah.
One of my favorite things on my desk is a thank you card from a family who came from about an hour away for food one day. And one of the children of the family drew me pictures of all their pets. And it literally, because I had been emailing with them, it literally said, thank you, Jalaine. It had pictures of all their pets and their pets' names. It's my favorite.
Sweet. And last year, 2 years ago now, we did the lamb chop fundraiser, and every pet, even the kitties, got a lamb chop toy for our December giveaway. So we also try to do fun things like that too. But no, those kids were so excited, and I think they also got lamb chops.
Yeah.
If I remember rightly, it was during that time period. And then they were very excited that they all got toys. I don't know if they understood the dogs were probably going to destroy them, but it was so cute. If you want to donate to us, I will add our wish list to the show notes this time, and our monetary. You can sign up to be a recurring donor, even if it's $5, $10, whatever you can do. You can select to be a recurring donor for our pantry or just general funds, but our pantry is where this episode is, so that's where we're asking for funding.
Hey, do you know what's a month from today?
What's a month from today?
What's a month from today? What's a month from today?
What is it? Tell us.
Our Bark After Dark Gala.
Woo! Wait, it was just 1 month.
Literally 1 month. We're fine.
We
are
fine.
So ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
This is exciting. I love the gala. All of our friends in one room. Not all. We wish more people could join us, but it is a fun night.
Were you in the room today when Mindi confessed that? So she's
She wasn't.
Stressed out. Stressed out because she's not having to plan as much for the gala this year. So
unfair.
I reflected that Mindi is stressed out when she has to plan the gala. Also stressed out when she's not planning the gala.
What I said was, I am stressing over how little I'm stressing about the gala. I have no idea.
She can't be helped.
I can't be helped. I can't.
I don't even know why I'm here.
We have so much help this year. It is so nice.
Yeah.
Like going from literally on a Friday when I was a preschool teacher being like, hey, I think we're going to do this. And on a Monday, I have it picked, the date picked and the room reserved. Like, it's not just one person planning it anymore. We have a whole team and it's so nice. And 1 month away from dancing. No dancing.
No dancing.
I don't know why I keep
I don't know
saying
why you say that either. We do not have room for a dance floor. We do not have a DJ. We don't have a live band.
Does anyone want to come to the gala and dance with me and Jalaine? Because apparently we want to dance and no one does. I do. I always start with dancing, and I don't know why. It's not a wedding.
Next year we can put in dancing.
Or maybe just at the end when everyone's like gone. Those of us
that's usually when I'm dancing.
I
when
think
we're
that's
cleaning
probably
up
it.
and I'm
It's like the
vibing.
end of the night we are like truly vibing. So, okay, please, if you would like to come and dance, we welcome dancing.
But it's really not about the dancing.
It is not about the dancing. It is about the dogs.
The dogs.
It's about the dogs.
The dogs.
So yes, our Bark After Dark Gala is $75 tickets. I don't even know if we've set the prices. We probably have.
No.
We ramble a lot.
Yeah.
$75 for you to join us, and you get lots of appetizers, lots of snacks, lots of drinks.
There might be some popcorn.
There will be popcorn, Mindi.
There will be
Mindy's a popcorn fiend, and whether I share is...
We tried to get, last week, Jalaine and I tried to get popcorn donated, and the movie theater was like, no. But here's what we'll sell it to you for. And I did the math, and I was like, we're going to have to buy the popcorn, because Mindi is like set on the popcorn. There will be popcorn and there will be dancing.
I could...
Doesn't matter what anyone says.
I'm going to be in the corner, just like... my little beats on, like my own party in the corner. You guys can do your own thing.
Silent disco.
Yep, that's it. Silent disco, but just Mindy in the
like,
corner.
Mindi good? She's fine. She's fine.
Mindy's actually completely unaware there's a gala this year because she didn't have to plan it. So she's got her own party going in the corner with the only food she'll eat of the night. So just kidding. But it is. It is great food. It is such good food.
Such good food.
And it's all plant-based.
Yeah, all plant-based. Popcorn probably isn't going to be grown in Iowa, but
you don't know that.
Could be.
We have lots
corn,
of
corn.
Yeah. We'll have a silent auction. We'll have a live auction. We'll have speakers. We'll have a panel discussion. We'll have a wine toss where you are not tossing wine, but you are tossing rings onto wine bottles that you get to take home if you get a ring on them. We just found out today we have one donor donating 28 bottles of wine. 22 bottles of wine. Turns out I'm donating 6 now. But yeah, so lots of fun stuff. Really excited. We'll have our Hall of Puppy Mill Survivors like we do every year, which is super special. And we are still taking reservations for those spots where you can pay to have a photo of your puppy mill survivor and their story displayed at the gala. And then afterwards you get the picture to keep.
Yeah, we ship it. It's so nice.
Yeah. So yeah, lots of fun things for the night. Yeah.
And and people do come in from out of state. We have a lot of locals, but people do come in.
Our first ticket purchase this year was a volunteer from Minnesota.
I love that.
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah, we've got folks from Wisconsin coming. We've got
Illinois.
Illinois.
James. He listens to our podcast.
Hey, James. I'm so excited to meet James.
I know you've met him years past, but
you say that about everybody. I don't. Yeah. I'm sorry to everyone I've met because I am out of sight.
I will never not share this story, but it's generational. And when Alexis and I were on a call, Alexis was on a call and I was just next to her. And someone was like, Alexis, I haven't met you yet. It's nice to meet you. And she goes, you have met me twice. I was like, go you. I could never. But my gosh, she was literally like, "Oh no, we've met before. We've met twice before." And I was like, "You go. You don't be ignored."
Yeah.
So it's not just you.
I know
a lot of
people do
forget.
that to me, and I'm like, I'm so sorry.
I know. I would the shame I would feel.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, but I'm used to it now. It's been a long life of that, so I don't carry as much shame. I'm just like, yep, sorry.
Yep, just ignored.
That's me.
Oh,
But I'll remember a story about the person. Like if they're like, remember we went to that Cubs game and you were like, oh my gosh, yes, that was you. Like I'll remember the situation.
But what was your name?
Right? No. I just talked last night to some neighbors. No idea what their names are. I know their dogs' names.
Yeah.
So
we've lived in our house for 5 years and just learned our next door neighbor's name a couple months ago. But we've known her dog's name.
And I wouldn't recognize the people if they didn't have their dogs. If they just came to my house, I'd be like, I do not know who you strangers are. But if they have their dogs, I'd be like,
I nickname my neighbors.
Yes.
Same. So then then you forget. Then you forget even if you knew it at one point, you forget their name because you've nicknamed them from afar.
Yeah. We nicknamed the dogs if we don't know. Yeah.
We recognize the barks in our neighborhood, and then we're like, "Ooh, we think it's this dog on the street." So, anyway, if you come to our gala,
we digress.
We might forget your name.
Yeah,
but we
we'll
love
remember
you,
your dog,
and we'll remember that you came, and we will remember your dog.
Speaking of dogs, there will be dogs at the gala.
Yes. We always have a few little dogs coming around, and we think there are going to be 3 this time. So, a pug, hopefully. Well, a Frenchie pug mix. They said she was a pug. She's my old foster dog. Came from a puppy mill. It was black and brown. Like it's just you'll have to see Gertie. And then our Cavalier friend Iris, who came last year. And then who was the third dog I said? Lana.
Oh.
We said maybe the Beagle if the Cavalier can't come.
Okay.
But we're gonna have a healthy mix, and then a Shiba.
A handful of small dogs.
Yes, non-biters. Well, thank you for making it through this episode. We know who we are. We can't apologize. This is what it is.
And we laugh and we make jokes, but
we are serious about our work.
Yes. I mean, the topic is right. We don't make light of the pantry. It's important and it does good things.
But work is hard. You have to have fun doing it, no matter what you're doing. You have to laugh. You have to show that you're not perfect and can laugh at yourself too when you say the wrong word. It's okay. Yes. Well, thanks everyone for this wonderful, wonderful episode. We will catch you next week. Bye.